Hello students, today we are going to start chapter 7 India our country. The topic is India physical divisions. As you know, India is a country with greater physical contrasts. India is having diverse relief range, means we are having towering mountains to level plains. We are having tableland, that is peninsular India, sandy desert, that is in the northwest part of India, a long coastline borders with the south, islands are there. So these are the diverse physical features. If I talk about the varied landforms of our country, India broadly been divided into 6 physical units: the Great Himalayan Mountains, Northern Plains, the Thar Desert or the Great Indian Desert, the Peninsular Plateau, Coastal Plains, the islands. First, kindly see the map. This is your Greater Himalayas, okay? Middle Himalayas, and this is your Shivalik range, this one. This is your Northern Plains. Here is your Great Indian Desert, and this is your Aravalli range. Here is your Vindhya range. Below that is your Satpura range. Here is Western Ghats. Here is Eastern Ghats. Here is Western coastal area. Here is Eastern coastal areas. Okay. Here is Anamalai. Okay. These are the major physical divisions. So the northern mountain wall, the Himalayas. Himalayas is the most dominant feature of India. The word Himalaya means abode of snow, means the home of snow. Because of high altitude means it is at elevation height. So lofty peaks are permanently covered with snow and glaciers. If I talk about the peaks, they are covered with snow and glaciers. The Himalayas are youngest and highest fold mountains in the world. Okay, it is the youngest and the highest fold mountains in the world. The rise of 8,000 meter above sea level. Okay, if I talk about the height of the Himalaya is about 8,000 meter above the sea level. The range run in the east and east to west direction along the entire northern boundary of India, like this. This is east to west direction along with the northern boundary of the India. It is being divided into 3 parallel ranges. These is the images of Himalayas. 3 parallel ranges are there: Himadri, Himachal, Shivalik. We are going to discuss about Himadri. The northernmost range is with average height about 6,000 meter is your Himadri range. Mount Everest. Okay, it is the world highest peak, 8,848 meter. Kanchenjunga, 8,586 meter. Makalu, 8,485 meter, and Nanga Parbat, 8,126 meter. They lie in Himadri range. The lofty peaks are permanently, they are covered with snow. These peaks are covered with snow. Passes like Shipkila, Lipu Lake, Jojila, Nathula. Lipu Lake means Jojila and Nathula. These are the narrow gaps between the mountains. Means these are the passes that are narrow gap between the mountains. This Jojila and Nathula is being repeated again. So this is Shipkila, Lipu Lake, Jojila, Nathula and Lipu Lake. So these are the narrow gaps between the high mountains, where you can see these gaps are also covered with snow. You must have seen Rohtang Pass, that is also covered with snow. Middle Himalaya, Himachal. Average height is about 3,500 to 5,000 meter. Important ranges are Pir Pranjal and Dhauladhar range. Famous hills are Shimla, Mussoorie, means famous hill stations, Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Darjeeling. They lie in the Himachal range. Next is Shivalik. Shivalik consists of the foothill of the Himalayas. It is about 1,000 to 1,500 meters. They are low-lying, hilly area covered with sand, clay, rounded stones. It is the southernmost range. In this valley, the range is known as dunes. Example is Dehraduns in your Shivalik range. Next topic is Trans-Himalayas and the Tibetan Himalayas. It consists of your Karakoram and your Kailash range. You must have heard about Mount Godwin Austen. We call it K2 also. It is in India. The height is about 8,611 meters. So it is the second highest peak of the world after your Mount Everest. Mount Godwin Austen, that is K2. The Everest lies in the Karakoram range. Famous glaciers are Baltoro and Saichen. They lie here. If I talk about the western part of the Himalaya, they are dry and rugged. If I talk about the east, the highlands of Assam, they are wetter and greener. Okay, the highlands of Assam, they are greener and wetter. Northeastern, there is a chain of lower hills that is known as Purvanchal. Your Garo Hill, Khasi Hill, Jaintai Hill, Mizo Hill, Lushai Hills, Naga Hills. This northeastern chain of lower hill is known as Purvanchal. Himalayas importance. It acts as a protective barrier. It protects us from the cold winds which are coming from neighboring countries. It is covered with glaciers. What happened? The glaciers melt. That are the permanent source of water for the rivers, because perennial rivers get their water from the melting of the glaciers only. Climate of India is also being influenced by Himalayas, and the scenic beauty of Himalayas, it attracts the tourists from all over the world. Next is your Indo-Gangetic Brahmaputra Plain. It is also known as your Northern Plains. It lies between your Himalayas and your peninsular part. Means between north and south is your Northern Plains. If I talk about west part, Ravi, Beas and Satluj, the tributaries of Indus River. Tributaries are the rivers that are joining the main river, the small rivers that is joining the main river. So Ravi, Beas, Satluj are the tributaries of river Indus. And then your Indus River, it drains into Arabian Sea. It drains its water into Arabian Sea. The Ganga and tributaries like Yamuna, Gandak, Kosi, it covers the central and eastern part of the plain. If I talk about Brahmaputra, it is also known as Tsangpo in Tibet. It is coming from Tibet, Brahmaputra. It is known as Tsangpo in Tibet, Dihang in Arunachal Pradesh, Brahmaputra in Assam, and Jamuna in Bangladesh. So your river Brahmaputra is known by different names. Tsangpo in Tibet, Dihang in Arunachal Pradesh, Brahmaputra in Assam, and Jamuna in Bangladesh. The northern plains, they are covered with mainly three rivers, Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. The sand, silt and clay, these are brought by the rivers, okay, and these form your alluvial plains. Means your alluvial soil is found, and these three rivers form your alluvial plains by the sediments brought by the river. Sediments are sand, silt and clay. The tributaries of Ganga, Indus, Brahmaputra, they contributed a lot for the formation of your northern plains. The Indo-Gangetic Brahmaputra plains means the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, they meet in Bangladesh. It is known as Padma. Where your Ganga and Brahmaputra meet in Bangladesh, it is known as Padma. And it drains into Bay of Bengal, discharge its water into Bay of Bengal. At the mouth of the river, it is making a delta. It is a triangular in shape, which is made by the sediments brought by the river. It is the one of the biggest delta in the world, the Sundarban Delta in West Bengal. Importance of the northern plain. Vast, fertile land, agriculture is the main activity, alluvial soil is found, rivers are there for the cultivation of the crops. It is known as food bowl of the country because all the main food grains are grown in the northern plains. And it is the most densely populated region. Densely populated means most of the population you can find in your northern plains. So, densely populated, food bowl of the country, fertile alluvial soil is found, rivers you can see, okay, and it is the most productive region. Productive region means many types of crops are grown here. Agriculture is the main activity of this region. Now the Thar Desert or the Great Indian Desert. The northwest and west of India is located the Great Indian Desert. The Thar Desert is located in Rajasthan. Where is your Thar Desert? In Rajasthan. Extensive stretch of your sandy desert Rainfall, as you know, in desert area it is very low. It is 12 to 25 centimeters only. The temperature is very high in summer, around about 52.8 degrees Celsius. The area is very dry, no vegetation or very less vegetation is here. Sand dunes means small hill of sands you can see. Small hill of sands, it appears like a sea of sand. It is the most sparsely populated area. Sparsely means less population you can see in this region. Due to the construction of your Indira Gandhi Canal, it transformed many areas of desert into a fertile land. This is your Thar Desert. To the south, if I talk about now Peninsular Plateau, to the south of the northern plain, it is your Peninsular Plateau. It is triangular in shape. It comprises of your oldest landmass of India because it is having igneous and metamorphic rocks. This peninsular plateau is formed by the igneous and metamorphic rocks. The height in this region is generally about 600 meters to 900 meters. It is a tableland, lower than a mountain, above than a plain. River Narmada and Vindhya range. It divides the plateau into two sections. Central Plateau means Central Highland and your Deccan Plateau. Narmada River and Vindhya range divides the Peninsular Plateau into two parts. Central Highlands in the north, Deccan Plateau in the south. Western Ghats these are. You can see the average height is about 600 to 900 meters. Central Highland. It extends from Delhi Ridge to Rajmahal Hills. If I talk about northwest, lies the Aravalli Range. It is one of the oldest fold mountains of the world. They are now highly eroded. Erosion activities you can see here means the topsoil is being removed. Central Highland, it comprises of your Malwa Plateau, Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand. It extends to your Chota Nagpur Plateau also. So the Central Highland, it comprises of your Malwa Plateau, Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand and extends till Chota Nagpur Plateau in the east. If I talk about south, there is a Vindhya range and Satpura range. The Narmada and river Tapi are there in these ranges. And these rivers, west flowing rivers, drain into Arabian Sea. Narmada and Tapi are the west flowing rivers and these rivers drain into Arabian Sea. A number of hills like the Maikal, Kamur, Mahidao flank its boundary with the Deccan Plateau. These hills are having boundaries with the Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau is broad in the north of tapers in the south. If I talk about Deccan Plateau, it is very broad in the south and very narrow, means very broad in the north and narrow in the south. Broad in north and tapers mean narrow in the south. It is like this. Larger area of northwest of plateau is covered with basalt lava flows. Here the lava flows. The rocky block is tilted towards the east. The rocky block, it is tilted towards the eastern side and the main rivers in the peninsular part of plateau is Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. These are eastward flowing rivers and they drain their water into Bay of Bengal. If I talk about the western edge of the plateau, it is having borders with the Western Ghats. It is also known as Sahyadris. The spelling is wrong. It is Sahyadrs. Sahyadris. Okay, Sahyadris we call it. The Western Ghats are almost continuously with a gap in the south. The Nilgiri hills lie here. If I talk about the southward, it lies Annamalai and the Cardamom Hills. The eastern boundaries of the Deccan Plateau is called Eastern Ghats. These are the group of separated hills. These are broken by your eastern flowing rivers and they are even uneven also. So if I talk about the eastern boundaries that are known as Eastern Ghats, these are the group of separated hills. These are broken through your east flowing rivers and these are uneven in nature. Importance. Minerals are basically found in your plateau region. Iron ore, coal, manganese. The edge of the plateau is a site for building dams. Okay, the plateau is mainly a site for building dams. Cotton is very well grown in Deccan Plateau. It is scenic beauty towards the highlands in the plateau. It attracts the tourist. I shown you Western Ghats. The scenic beauty, it attracts the tourist. Now we are talking about coastal plains and the islands. India is having coastline. It extends from 7,615.5 kilometers. It is having border with Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat, the coastline of India. The coastal plains are in a form of fertile green flat land. It is green in color, flat land. The western coastal plains are known as Konkan in the north and Malabar in the south. If I talk about the western coastal plain, in the north it is known as Konkan, in the south it is known as Malabar. Okay, the western coastal plains are narrower. If I talk about the eastern coastal plains, these are known as Nardar Sirkars and below in the south Coromandel coast. In the north Northern Sirkars, in the south Coromandel coast. The east flowing rivers, they form deltas at the mouth where they join the Bay of Bengal. So the eastern coastal plains are very broad and they are very fertile. Importance. They are very fertile. Farming and fishing are the main occupation and the activities. Sea beaches are there that attract the tourists from all over the world. Ports are there, harbors are there, that is a shelter for the ships. This is your coastal area, basically the area darker in islands. Andaman and Nicobar Island. It lies the southeast, Andaman and Nicobar Island. The Lakshadweep Island in the Arabian Sea, Andaman and Nicobar in Bay of Bengal. So these two groups of islands forms the Indian Union. The Andaman and Nicobar are formed of Great Andamans, Little Andamans and Nicobar Islands. They are the group of among 300 islands are there. Numerous big small islands are also there. But when the tsunami came in 2004, it caused a great destruction in these islands. Tsunami came. So what happened when the tsunami came? The Indian Ocean tsunami in 2004, it was the deadliest tsunami in recorded history. It destroyed a part of Andaman and Nicobar Island and affected the coast of Tamil Nadu also. The Lakshadweep is formed due to the coral deposits. Okay. Coral deposits, I'll tell you what are the coral deposits. Your coral deposits are generally made up of the dead animals, skeleton or bones if I talk about. Dead animals and skeleton bones shape is formed. Okay, I call it a coral polypus also. So basically if I talk about coral deposits, that are the substances that are formed at the bottom of the sea from the bones of the very small creatures. When these very small creatures they die, their bones settle down in the bottom of the sea and a substance is deposited on that bone, that is known as coral deposits. So Lakshadweep Island is formed of coral deposits. It forms an atoll, means a ring-shaped coral island on the Arabian Sea. Okay, a ring-shaped coral island on the Arabian Sea that is made up of corals. We are now aware about the different physical divisions of India. Each region complements the other region. Our country is very good at natural resources. We are having very rich natural resources. The diverse physical unit of India have influenced the general life of the people. Yet there is an overall unity that binds our regions together. Each region depends on one another. So that's why we are interacting with each other. Like for food grains, we are dependent on the northern plains. For minerals, we are dependent on the plateau region. So it binds the country. While food comes from one part, mineral comes from another part. Everything is shared by the entire country. So we can proudly say that India is a land of unity of diversity. We live together. We are having different diversity means here we belong to different caste, culture, religion, but we live together. That is unity in diversity. Similarly, somewhere mountain plateau region is there, somewhere desert area is there, somewhere coastal plains are there. So that also binds the whole country, as something is got in one part of the country, something is present in another part of country. So we share things with each other. That's why unity of diversity or unity in diversity will come. It is not of, it will come unity in diversity. Okay, so we can proudly say that India is a land of unity in diversity. Fine, here in will come. Now your practice assignment. North south extent is 3,214 kilometers. India covers how much total world area? 2.4%. Which latitude passed through India? Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degree north. Oldest mountain range, the Aravallis. Which of the following state does not have a common boundary with Nepal? Punjab. It is having with Pakistan. Southern part of India is called Peninsula. Least populous state, Sikkim. Highest peak, Mount Godwin Austen. Populous state, Uttar Pradesh. Greater Himalayas, known as Himadri. The barren island in Andamans is an active volcano of India. True. Lakshadweep Island lie in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Tamil Nadu. False. It lies in the Arabian Sea. Indian mainland extends about 2,933 km from north to south. Just now we did 3,214 km. Godavari is the longest river of the Deccan Plateau. True. Thar Desert is located in Gujarat. No, it is in Rajasthan. India is located in the dash of Asia, south. The Indo-Gangetic Plain is made up of dash soil, alluvial soil. Dash is the largest state of India area-wise, Rajasthan. The western edge of plateau is bordered by the Western Ghats, Sahyadris they known as. Andaman and Nicobar Island lie in the Bay of Bengal. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.